In a distant kingdom, a powerful monarch faced a glaring, nightly security flaw. Every evening, his 12 daughters were secured inside a single, massive bedroom at the heart of the castle. Yet every morning when the sun rose, the king would open the doors to discover 12 pairs of dancing shoes scattered across the floor. The soles were worn through with large holes, despite the room remaining locked from the outside. The king bought new shoes daily, but the damage continued. For a ruler accustomed to total command, this recurring anomaly proved he had entirely lost control of his own house. To regain control, the king crowdsourced a solution. Whoever could solve the mystery would marry a princess and inherit the throne. Confident princes traveled from neighboring lands, eagerly planting themselves outside the bedroom door to run standard all-night stakeouts. Every single one of these high-status investigators failed at the exact same choke point. Shortly after moonrise, a powerful, unnatural sleep overtook them. By morning, the door remained open, the shoes were ruined, and the observer had seen nothing. The breakthrough finally arrived with an impoverished veteran soldier. Exhausted from years of war, he paused on his journey to share his meager food rations with an old woman on the road. In exchange for the meal, she handed him critical insider intelligence. She warned him that the eldest princess would offer him a cup of wine laced with a heavy sleeping potion. To bypass this chemical attack, the woman gave him a cloak that granted total invisibility. The wealthy princes had relied on their status and brute force observation, ignoring the subtle variables of the environment. The weary veteran succeeded by trading his own food for local knowledge, securing the tactical advantage needed to survive the night. When the soldier arrived at the castle, the eldest princess brought him the expected glass of wine. He hid a sponge under his chin, letting the liquid soak in without swallowing a drop, and lay down on his bed to fake a loud, heavy sleep. In the adjacent room, the princesses heard the snoring. They assumed the potion had worked perfectly, categorizing the soldier as another neutralized threat who fit the exact profile of their previous victims. Confident they were safe, the eldest princess clapped her hands 3 times. The floor beneath one of the beds opened up, and the heavy wooden frame mechanically descends into the stone floor, revealing the mouth of a dark, hidden staircase. As the girls walked down single file, the soldier jumped up. He wrapped the invisibility cloak around his shoulders and silently followed the youngest princess into darkness. The king had fortified the exterior door with iron and guards, assuming any breach would come from the outside. The true vulnerability was a hidden piece of architecture, engineered directly into the foundation by the people who lived there. The staircase emptied out into a sprawling subterranean ecosystem. The soldier followed the princesses into a quiet forest where every tree was made of silver. Needing proof of his location, he broke a small silver twig off a branch. The snap echoed through the woods.
The youngest princess panicked, sensing an intruder, but the eldest immediately dismissed the sound as the princes shouting for joy ahead. They moved deeper into the underground world, passing through a glowing forest of gold, and finally into a forest of sparkling diamond trees. At each new biome, the soldier continued his active evidence collection, snapping off a golden branch and then a crystalline diamond twig, building a physical record of the landscape. At the edge of the diamond forest lay a dark underground lake. 12 small boats waited at the shore, each manned by an enchanted prince. The soldier climbed into the youngest princess's boat, weighing it down as they rowed toward a massive, illuminated secret ballroom. Inside, the music blared. The princesses danced with their enchanted partners for hours, spinning and jumping without rest until 3 in the morning, physically destroying their shoes on the stone floor. As the exhausting night came to an end, the eldest princess placed her golden cup down on a table. The soldier quickly grabbed it and slipped it into his cloak. A lesser investigator might have returned to the king with an unbelievable story about underground lakes and silver trees. By securing the twigs in the cup, the soldier constructed a chain of physical artifacts that could survive the journey back to the surface. Returning to his bed before the princesses, the soldier kept his findings quiet the next morning. He repeated his infiltration for a second and third night, ensuring the nightly pattern was completely consistent before making a move. On the 4th morning, he requested an audience with the king. With the 12 daughters secretly hiding behind a large curtain to listen, the king asked where his daughters went every night.
The soldier described the underground castle. When asked for proof, he pulled the glowing silver twig, the sparkling diamond branch, and the heavy golden cup from his cloak, and placed them firmly onto the dark wooden royal table. The physical artifacts laid bare the entire nightly operation. Knowing their secret architecture was fully exposed, the 12 princesses stepped out from behind the curtain and confessed. The princesses had maintained an elaborate illusion that baffled the kingdom's elite for months, yet a handful of empirically gathered twigs shattered the deception in a matter of seconds. The discovery revealed the sheer physical demand of the princesses' nightly routine. They were returning every dawn on the brink of collapse, having spent the night in a state of frantic, relentless motion just to maintain their secret life. The king had attempted to keep his daughters perfectly safe by locking them behind heavy iron bars. That restrictive environment drove them to seek their own autonomy and joy in a hidden, dangerous underground world. Grateful for the truth, the king offered the soldier any of his daughters in marriage. Bypassing the youngest, the veteran selected the eldest princess, specifically valuing the strategic cleverness and maturity she demonstrated while managing the nightly escape. With the secret revealed, the spell over the enchanted princesses was broken. The hidden trapdoor in the bedroom was permanently sealed, closing off the subterranean passage forever. The king's morning ritual of buying new shoes finally ended. By acknowledging his daughter's need for autonomy, he replaced the iron bars of the bedroom with a stable, open household.